3 reasons to start a Roth IRA. Hey everyone, Adam Bergman here, tax attorney and founder of IRA Financial. And today's AdBits, the 3 most important reasons why everyone should have a Roth IRA. So before I get started, I'm going to spend a few minutes just introducing the Roth IRA, why I think it's the most powerful tax planning, retirement tool, and estate planning tool that exists. And then talk about the 3 most important reasons why everyone should have a Roth IRA. Because no matter what your income level is, so long as you have some earned income, you can make Roth IRA contributions in 2024. So Roth IRA was created in 1997 by Senator Roth of Delaware. It essentially takes a pre-tax IRA where you get a tax deduction for putting money in an IRA. And in 2024, you can put away $7,000 or $8,000 if you're over 50 to an IRA. For a traditional IRA, there are some income limitations about who can make contributions to a pre-tax IRA and also get a tax deduction. And that's based off whether you or your spouse have access to a 401k at work and your income limitations. Now, Roth IRA is basically the flip side of a pre-tax IRA, meaning with a pre-tax IRA, you get a tax deduction for putting money in. And when you're 59 and a half and you pull money out, you pay tax on what you pull out, ordinary income. For Roth IRA, you do not get a tax deduction for putting money into a Roth IRA, which again is $7,000 or $8,000 if you're over 50. But, and here's the big but, and here's the big gold nugget. So long as you're 59 and a half and the Roth IRA has been open at least 5 years, whatever you pull out, all Roth IRA distributions are tax-free. Yes, tax-free. Now, on top of that, Roth IRA contributions, you can pull out whenever you want, tax-free, penalty-free. But in order to get a qualified Roth distribution, you have to be 59 and a half and the Roth must be open at least 5 years. Now, the good news is once you hit 73 years old, you do not have to take a required minimum distribution, RMD. If you pass away, your spouse can get access to that Roth IRA and the Roth will go into his or her name, no RMDs. And God forbid your spouse passes or you have a non-spouse beneficiary, they would generally have 10 years to pull those funds out so long as they're over 21 years old, not disabled, and they are not less than 10 years younger than you. Okay, like so it's a child, a grandchild, they'd have 10 years to pull it out. Okay, so obviously it's a great tool to use the money tax-free during your lifetime, but also as an estate planning tool. So 3 reasons why everyone should have a Roth IRA. Number 1, the best tax shelter out there. It's legal, tax-free savings. Now, as I mentioned, even if you're Jeff Bezos or Warren Buffett or Elon Musk, anyone could open a Roth IRA so long as you have earned income. Earned income means compensation for services. You sell a widget, 1099, W-2, Schedule C income, business income. You need earned income. What is not earned income? Capital gains, interest, dividends, royalties, rental income, Social Security, disability. It needs to be earned income, income that you either earn for performing a service or selling a widget. Okay. Now, even if you make $1 million a year and you're over the threshold of $240,000 for a Roth IRA, you can still do what's called a backdoor Roth IRA, which allows you to make an after-tax IRA contribution and then simply convert it to Roth. Okay. So if you're married, filed jointly, and you make less than $240,000, you can still do a Roth. If you are single and make more than $161K, you could still do a Roth. But if you make more than those 2 figures, you have to do what's called a backdoor Roth IRA, where you just make a contribution to an IRA. You don't take the tax deduction, and then you immediately convert it to Roth. One thing to keep in mind is if you have other IRAs out there, other pre-tax IRAs, there is a pro rata formula about how much of that backdoor amount, that contribution amount that wants to go towards the backdoor after tax to Roth could actually be converted to Roth without tax. There may be a pro rata formula if you have another pre-tax IRA out there. For example, 5 years ago, you set up a pre-tax IRA. Now it is worth $5,000, and you want to do a backdoor Roth IRA of $5,000 in 2024. Since you have a pre-tax IRA out there, 5 and 5 is 10. 5 out of 10 is 50%. That means 50% of the $5,000 that's the backdoor is tax-free. And then 50% to $2,500 would be subject to tax. And that's just a way so you can't just pull this into a backdoor Roth without taking into account any of your pre-tax IRA contributions. But if you do not have any other pre-tax IRA contributions out there, nothing to worry about. So when I say tax-free investing, the advantage, as I mentioned, is so long as you're 59 and a half and the Roth's been open 5 years, everything you pull out is tax-free. Okay, so you buy Bitcoin for 1,000 and now it's worth $1 million after you're 59 and a half, tax-free. You buy Apple for $1, now it's worth $500 and you have $5 million of gains, all tax-free. You buy a house for 100K, sell it for 5 million in your Roth IRA, so long as you're 59 and a half, Roth been open 5 years, tax-free. You buy stock for a penny, goes public, and now it's worth 75 million bucks, tax-free, so long as you're 59 and a half, the Roth's been open 5 years. So it's literally the best legal tax shelter out there. Number two, Roth IRA, best way to take advantage of compounding returns. Compounding returns means your money grows faster because it's not subject to tax. Okay, so I'm going to go through some just quick examples to show you the power of the. And I'll actually share my screen. So if I can get it. Yeah, there's an example. So if you're watching this on YouTube, you'll be able to see these examples. If you're following along on a podcast, I'll just read them out for you, just give you an idea. So if you're 22 years old, you put away just $365 a year from 22 to 70, average an 8% rate of return, you'd have $193,000 in your Roth. If you did it with a taxable account subject to a 25% tax rate, you'd have only $99K. 22 years old, you put $1,095 in, same terms, you've had $579 in Roth instead of $297 in taxable account. 22, you put in $1,825, you'd have $966,000 in a Roth, taxable account, $496,000. Let's go through some others. Put in $5,500 at age 23 till 70, assuming an 8% rate of return. You'd have $2.7 million in a Roth. If you did in a taxable account, assuming a 25% rate of return, you'd have only $1.2 million. Let's do another. Okay, $5,500, you're 40 years old, you retire, so you make $5,500 a year from 40 to 70, assuming an 8% rate of return, you'd have $722,000 in a Roth. You'd only have $465,000 in a taxable account. How about you make $12,000 to a Roth 401k? You retire at 73, you'd have almost $3.3 million in a Roth. Okay, so it's never too late. You're 40 years old, you put away $20,400 from 40 to 73 in a 401k, average 8% rate of return, you'd have $2.4 million. So that is the power of compounding returns. Your money grows faster. It's the power of 72. Every 9 years, assuming an 8% rate of return, your money doubles. If you can average a 10% rate of return every 7 or so years, your money doubles. Albert Einstein coined that the eighth wonder of the world. It's how rich people get richer, how smart people invest. So the Roth IRA is the best way to take advantage of that. And then ultimately, the third is estate planning. As I mentioned, you can pass Roth IRAs to a spouse and to non-spouses like children's, grandchildren, tax-free, and they can have 10 years to pull those funds out and use them. Now, Roth IRA is part of your estate, so it would be subject to a estate tax, but in 2024, the unified credit is approximately $13.6 million if you're married. So it's about $27 million. So as long as your estate's below that, you can then pass assets to non-spouses tax-free. You can always pass assets to spouses tax-free, even if you have $1 billion in your estate. So those are the three key reasons why everyone should open a Roth IRA. It's the best way to tax-free save, best way to take advantage of compounded return, and it's a great estate planning tool. There's no excuses. It is super easy to do. You can do it to buy stocks. You can do it to do alternative assets. And as long as you have some earned income, you can make contributions. Even if you make $1 million a year because of that backdoor Roth IRA, everyone could take advantage of the Roth IRA. So that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. Short and sweet, just really to the point, and want to really demonstrate the power of the Roth IRA. And hopefully this convinced you, whether you want to do alts or traditionals, to go and open a Roth IRA ASAP. Okay, it's too late for 2023 because we're past April 15th, but you have plenty of time for April 15th, 24. For 2024, you can do it up until April 15th, 2025. And it just takes starting early as you can, You need to be consistent every year and then trust the process. And mathematics will tell you you will have massive amount of tax-free wealth so long as you're patient and trust the process and just do as I say. You will be rich. I promise. That's it for today. Have a great day, and I'll see everyone again next week. Thanks.